What's going on YouTube? It's your girl Vanity V. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday. So my girls from Married to Medicine are back. Season 10 premiered on Sunday. And this is probably my most excited that I've been about a Bravo premiere. Married to Medicine is absolutely my favorite show on Bravo, along with Potomac and Miami. But the girls from Married to Medicine, I love them. They are the most authentic cast on the network. In addition to that, we have newcomers Sweet Tea, who is the new wife of Dr. Gregory, and my girl Phaedra, who we all love to hate, is here. So let's get into the review, you guys. This is season 10, episode 1. Before I start, I just want to say the ladies look fine. All of them look amazing. I'm blown away. They really stepped it up this season, with the glam, with the clothes, with the style. They all look absolutely amazing. Let me tell you something, baby. My girl Phaedra, you are fine. She's so beautiful. I believe Phaedra's 47 or 48. I'm going to just say this. Women like Phaedra make me excited to get older, because today's 47 is not like yesterday's 47. These women are killing it, keeping it together. Phaedra's body, her face card, her hair, her makeup, like just everything looks amazing. Toya. I have a love-hate relationship with Toya, but Toya is like breathtakingly beautiful. Just everything about her. She's got her fitness together. Her body is fire. Phaedra's body's fire. You know, Simone they all really look great. So I just want to say that, all right? So this episode starts off, we see Phaedra's having some type of event at looks like a clothing store. They have furs and coats, you know, very glamorous, very beautiful. And Phaedra invites Dr. Jackie and my girl, Dr. Heavenly, who is my favorite. I love Dr. Heavenly. Heavenly's out of control, but that's why we love her. We love it. We love the mess, but she's that person that just is out of control, but she got a little soft spot in here. So we see Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly, they come to Phaedra's event, and I'm already loving the dynamic. Right out the rip, Heavenly and Dr. Jackie are like, look, Phaedra's fine. You know, Phaedra's gonna show you some skin. So she comes in with like a beautiful little bodysuit, little sides out, you know, her little booty's popping, everything is just sitting right. And they both talk about how amazing she looks, but they definitely both shade her, saying she lies. And Phaedra knows she lies. Phaedra be lying. But, you know, Dr. Jackie also makes a comment about, look, we already know what time it is with Phaedra, but they also give her stripes, her accolades, and just say she's about her business. She's an excellent attorney. Questionable, but it's fine. But great businesswoman, all of these things, they give her props, right? But then they shade her at the same time, which is what we love. I love Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly as a duo. They're like the yin and the yang. They're like freaking frack. They're like opposites that attract but come together. You know, Dr. Heavenly makes Dr. Jackie she gets her out of her shell, gets the messiness out of her, but then Dr. Jackie is the one person on the cast that can kind of like talk a little bit of sense into Heavenly. So we love them together, and they are friends in real life. Dr. Heavenly has said, I trust this woman with my life. I talk to her every day. I'm very close to her, and I love it when these shows have genuine relationships, because we know that in a lot of these Bravo shows, they're not really cool in real life. You know what I'm saying? So it's so wonderful to see their dynamic. I also like the dynamic with Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly with Phaedra. They're interacting. They're like shading each other, giving each other props, you know, and just interacting really cool and getting along. But I do think there's probably some little, you know, some arguments and things that are going to be coming in the future. Out of this whole conversation, my takeaway, you know, obviously they're talking about Dr. Phaedra is close with Quad. We find out that she actually met Quad through Dr. G, who she has known for, she said, over 20 years. As soon as he moved to Atlanta, she met him the day he moved there, child. I guess as time progresses, we'll find out how. She didn't go into that today, but Dr. Jackie pulled a Dr. Heavenly move and said, by the way, did you used to date Dr. G? So Phaedra never really answered the question. And so Heavenly says, and by date we mean, Phaedra said no, she lying. Phaedra, you hit it off lying, girl. You are lying. Phaedra's not really a good liar. And we know that from Housewives. Like, she be thinking she be good at lying, but Phaedra's not a good liar. So we know that she's lying. She definitely hit it. He hit it from the back, from the side, from the front. She did all of the things. They did it. They did the nasty. I don't care what she says. They did it. Okay? So, but of course she denies it because Phaedra be lying. But we love her. We still love her. And so I thought that was interesting because I knew she was cool with Quad. I knew she knew Dr. G, but I did not know that she was hitting it from the back. Sidebar, didn't they say Dr. G's peen? Didn't Quad say his peen was like toddler bite size? Y'all will let me know in the comments, but I think they said his little pee was small. Refresh my memory, you guys. I want to know how Quad feels about this. I mean, technically, she probably can't really feel a way, being that she met Phaedra through him. And I'm assuming, she probably, maybe Dr. G told her that he hit it, allegedly. But I'm curious. It's gonna come out. But anyway, so we find that out. We know that she's really cool with Dr. G. And, she kind of said that she's been, over the years, the wingman for him and all of that. So, that was really cool. But the girls look good. Phaedra, you look good. Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Jackie, we love y'all together. So that little scene was a treat. And so we get to meet Sweet Tea, Letitia, as I believe her name. And I'm going to just call her Sweet Tea because that's what everybody else calls her. What y'all think about Sweet Tea? I'm going to tell you really quick before we get to the scene that we meet her, she's at Dr. Simone's house. Toya comes over and they're all hanging out, their husbands and all of that, Dr. G, and we're introduced to her. Now, we find out the Sweet Tea met Dr. G because she slid in his DMs. Why she slid in his DMs, y'all? She was a fan of the show. I'm not going to say she don't love that man because I don't know them, but men be real stupid. Like, you're going to wife up a woman that slid in your DMs that's like a fan of the show that was sending you like baby emojis? Because apparently we know over the years that Dr. G has wanted a baby, so I guess she kind of like gave him the baby emoji in the DM saying like, I'm ready for a baby. Dr. G, you fell for that? Okay. I have some thoughts about Sweet Tea, but I will let that go until we get to the big little showdown event that Dr. G and Sweet Tea had at their house. Okay, so we're introduced to Sweet Tea. Toya and Sweet Tea go to Dr. Simone's house. They're all having banter. Now let me say this. A couple months ago in the blogs, they were saying, or maybe it was Quad that said this. Don't quote me because I don't remember the exact source, but I do remember that the rumor was the reason why that basically Dr. Simone and Toya were shady and pretty much like were the ones that kind of orchestrated Sweet Tea coming on the show. I think now let me say this. We know Toya and Quad have had a beef. We know that the way that Quad has been very expressive about the way she found out that Dr. G and Sweet Tea were coming on the show. I agree with her. I think that Bravo should have been more forthcoming with at least warning her more in advance. Not necessarily asking for her, getting her approval, because like, who is Quad to give approval? But I do believe that they should have let her know more Cause that's a lot. Like I went through divorce. You saw it. Then you gonna bring my husband back on the show with his new fiance? Like, ugh. But the rumor was that Toya and Simone were the ones behind it all. Y'all dislike Quad that much that y'all do that? I mean, granted, we're happy because this season looked like it's about to be lit. And as annoying as Sweet Tea is coming off already, I think it's gonna be good for the season. But I don't like that. And I think it's shady. But we know that Dr. Simone especially has been known to be shady and be very sneaky with stuff like this. So I'm not surprised. So yeah, we get to meet Sweet Tea. And I want to know what y'all think about her. Dr. G looks good too. He done lost a little weight. All the men, have lost weight. Toya's husband has lost, Eugene lost weight. Like, everybody just looks so good. I will say this, as much as Sweet Tea's coming off as a gold digger, he looked like he's happy. He never looked happy with Quad, and she never looked happy with him. Both of them looked like they didn't like each other. But he looks like he's into her. I'm just saying. But yeah, so they're talking. It's nice to see the guy. I always like the guys together. And the guys are just basically saying that it's a come up for Dr. G. I don't agree with that. I think Quad is stellar. I think she has a great head on her shoulder. She's fine. She's fly. She's smart. She's smart. She's smart. She's just quick-witted. All of that stuff. So I don't know if I would say this is a come up. And she definitely not. I'm sorry, but Sweet Tea, she cute. She kind of got Nassitol. If you know, you know. But we're not judging. All bodies are beautiful. But she not fine like Quad. But what I will say is maybe, because it's a fact, men really value peace. And maybe, Sweet Tea is bringing him peace. I think she's a gold digger, though. I do. I mean, she kind of solidified that with the comment that she made at the showdown. But nonetheless, we see that, there's some type of little fake relationship that Dr. Simone and Toya have already with, old girl. And I'm not really here for it. I don't like it. I don't like when it's like you're the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of thing. They're not genuinely into this girl, but they are kind of using her as the plot twist to kind of get back at Quad. That's what this is giving. So I'm not feeling it. But, I do think that Sweet Tea is going to be good for the show. We find out she's from a small town. Did she say Kentucky? I forget the town, but she pretty much grew up in Texas. So she's a Southern girl. She lived in DC, and that's where she was when she slid into Dr. G's DMs. She saw dollar signs. She probably wanted a better life. She wanted to live in an Atlanta house and fake it front like they do in Atlanta. All of that was appealing to her. So she slid in his DMs and then went from there. He took the bait like a dumb man usually does. Ooh, man, y'all be so gullible, child. But nonetheless, we're here and she's on the show. And, I guess, we'll get to know her a little bit better. So we see, some scenes with Toya, she's with Dr. Eugene and they're looking great. They're doing better. They both have lost a lot of weight. Their sons are amazing. All of that's great. I'm curious to see if they're going to move this season. Because, she always does. She's always going to give us a good, 2 men in a truck or whatever it's called, in U-Haul, thing and move. She's going to give that to us. So we'll see if that happens this season. But, I'm excited that they're in a better place. Toya and Dr. Eugene, that's great. We see Heavenly with Alora, who I love. And Alora has grown into such a beautiful young woman. Heavenly, they have a scene where I think they're getting either a homecoming dress for Alora or a prom dress. It might be prom. It might be close to when she's graduating. And, Dr. Heavenly says that she wants Alora to go to Spelman. And Laura has decided to go to FAMU, which is another great college. And that is the alma mater of Dr. Heavenly. But Dr. Heavenly and Laura that's really her best friend. And so she wants Alora to stay. I don't blame Alora. I believe every kid should go out of state to college. And she's not that far, Dr. Heavenly. It's not like, I can't imagine that's that far of a drive. It's okay, Dr. Heavenly, if she's not in the same city as you. It might be a little 3-hour drive, but it's okay. And she went to, she's paying homage to you. She went to your college. So, it's cute to see that she bought Dr. Heavenly, she bought Allura a dress. Side note, when Allura rang that dress up, it was $2,500. Now, when I went to prom, granted, I graduated in 2000. Our prom dress was about $85. These dresses, y'all, it was a beautiful dress though, but I'm just blown away by inflation. I'm blown away by the prom culture now. These kids be going all out, spending $2,500 for a dress. That's some people's wedding dress. That's, ugh. But nonetheless, Allura is beautiful, and Dr. Heavenly is definitely sad about her going away. But she's accepted it, and she's there for her daughter, regardless. So then, as we're getting to know Sweet Tea, et cetera, we're finding out that we had the scene where they're talking about how they met each other. Sweet Tea, y'all, she moved into the house that Quad had. How do you guys feel about that? I don't know that I would want to move into a home that my future husband had with his ex-wife. Are y'all with that? I don't know if I would want to do that. And then we saw how much Quad put into decorating the house and everything, and she moved in there, but yeah, let's just get into it. Let's get into the juicy part of the show. The showdown, the hoedown. So Dr. G and y'all, it's too many names. It's this season. It's a lot. Bear with me. Dr. G and Sweet Tea had an event at their house, which everybody was invited, obviously, except for Quad. We also find out that Sweet Tea has a twin sister, a fraternal twin, that they look like identical twins. Her sister looks just like her. And then we find out, Sweet Tea is more of the sweet one. Her sister, she's a little spicy. We saw her check these hoes at the party, which I'm glad she did, because sometimes they need to be, gathered together. But all the girls come, the men come. Daddy came, child. Curtis was out of town at Dominican Republic. Who he in DR with, Dr. Jackie? I'm not insinuating anything, but who he went there with? Because DR is real sexy, and we know what the women be doing in DR. So I just want to know where Curtis was at. But anyway, he was the only husband that wasn't there. And so, they're all dressed in their little cowboy attire and everything. And, it's a good time. They're there to have a good time. They all come in. They make comments, obviously, because Quad used to live there. So they're all, when Quad was here, she had this, and it's very different, Dr. Heavenly says Quad is definitely has better taste than Sweet Tea, which we can see that off appearance, in my opinion. But yeah, everybody gets settled in. The guys, they do their thing. They go out, have their cigars, their drinks, whatever. All the ladies, they go into, it looks like her living room or a dining room, and they're chopping it up. And this is where the BS starts, okay? So, the parts that stood out to me, y'all, that I could not believe was, number one, Dr. Heavenly asked her, and when I say her, I'm referring to Sweet Tea. She says, hey girl, and she wasn't even being messy. She says, what is that's about, when it comes to being engaged, what do you love the most about it? And without a hitch, Sweet Tea says, because I have access to the money. Y'all, when I tell you the way everybody's face dropped, they immediately panned to Phaedra. Phaedra's everybody was looking dumbfounded and I cannot believe that this lady said that. So again, this lady had the nerve to say on national TV and in front of all the people that know Dr. G and probably care about him, the reason that she is really excited about being engaged because now I have more access to the money. Somebody needs to tell him that. I cannot believe that this lady said that. She's a gold digger. What else? Not I have more security. Not we're closer to being married. They both want children. Now, we're planning for the wedding and merging our lives and thinking about kids. This lady said, I have more access to the money. So immediately, that is a red flag if I ever saw one. So all the ladies are like taken aback, completely dumbfounded, can't even believe it, da 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 da. And then Toya asks the ladies, like, have y'all talked to Quad? Which, Toya, why you brought Quad up? Like, you know what you're doing, which I enjoyed this scene, but it's like you knew what you were doing. You knew that there was not going to be anything good coming out of bringing Quad up, in addition to the fact that, like, you're in Sweet Tea's house. Personally, and she did say this, like, I don't want to talk about this hoe in my house. Like, don't bring her up. I don't want to talk about it. Like, this is a Quad-free establishment. We're not speaking about her. But Toya asked them, okay, has anybody spoken to Quad? And so Phaedra immediately is like, well, most of them hadn't, because I guess they started filming right after the reunion. We saw what happened at the reunion. It was contentious. And I feel like Quad never has a good reunion. So she probably left that like, I ain't talking to none of these heifers, period, right? So they all like, even Dr. Heavenly, because they seem to be close pretty much off and on, I guess, when Dr. Heavenly's not shading her in her YouTube videos, but they all were kind of like, yeah, no, we haven't talked to her, except for Phaedra's like, yeah, I just talked to her the other day. And then Toya's like, yeah, because she doesn't want to come around. And by the way, I meant to ask you, which I was like, girl, this is not a segue. This had nothing to do with the conversation. Toya dropped a bomb and was like, are you representing her because she has a DUI? And so everybody's like, Phaedra, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Phaedra's facial expressions are everything. So she was kind of like, nah, I'm not representing her. I don't know about that. Okay, let me ask y'all a question. Why she did that? I don't think that that's okay. Toya, why did you bring that up? What is her having? You probably been sitting on this information for months. You couldn't wait to say anything. And also, did you Google it? Because I believe none of those ladies Simone knew that, outside of Simone. None of those ladies knew that. So it was like, are you Googling your cast members? Or maybe they do. I don't know. I'm not on reality TV. Maybe they all Google each other. Maybe they go to, Georgia case search or whatever to search, like, because I can't imagine that on a regular Google search her DUI would come up. I would imagine you need to be searching these different court cases in Georgia. But yeah, she just put that lady business out here like that. So everybody was like, whoa, and I kind of felt like that was crossing the line. But in her defense, and I usually don't defend Toya, I think she wants some get back from last season when Quad insinuated that Toya might have had something to do with the robbery. So, okay, I take that back. Never mind. I like Quad and all of that, but yeah, I think Toya is on some get back with you, Quad, and I think that that's why she brought it up. But nonetheless, everybody was like, woo, child. And Phaedra was like, no, I don't know anything about, the DUI. I'm not representing her. I don't know that about that lady. Then they're talking about, I forget who asks how it comes up, but Sweet Tea reveals that Simone referred her to like a fibroid specialist or whatever. She wants to have children, and so some type of specialist. And so Heavenly speaks up, as she always does, and was like, Dr. Jackie does that. Like, basically, why would you, refer her to someone else when Dr. Jackie, does this? And she even said, like, let's keep the money in the circle. Like, if we're going to be making referrals, like, why didn't you, refer to Dr. Jackie? Of course, Dr. Jackie's very uncomfortable. And she, in her confession, was like, why would Dr. Heavenly bring this up? And so immediately Simone's like, yeah, but the Dr. Heavenly's not a specialist. Technically, Dr. G was the one that told Sweet Tea to call Simone. And I get it. He's probably closer with Simone and Cecil, and so maybe he said, oh, she's a gynecologist, call her. And then when she called her, Simone's like, I of course I can do this, but maybe you should speak to an actual specialist about it. So as shady as Simone is, Dr. Simone is, I don't think that there was any ill intent or malicious intent behind this. But I do see what her point, because she's like, look, she has experience. She does this. This is what she does. She might not have gone to school for this, but this is a big part of her practice. You should have referred her. And, you know, of course, you know Simone will yell, child. If Simone doesn't do anything, she's going to give you a good high-pitched holler, okay? So they get into it, you know, and then that's when Sweet Tea's sister, I think her name is Kanika, chimes in like, this is my sister's house. You guys need to hush and da-da-da. And they listened. Everybody kind of kept it cute and relaxed and everything. But yes, they had, of course, Dr. Heavenly and Simone are going to give you an epic blowout. So they are already fussing at each other about that, okay? And so basically, Sweet Tea, which I'm glad that she did, because I would have did this. She was just like, look, this is not why you guys continue to bring Quad up. She just reiterated, I don't want to talk about Quad. This is my home. Let's focus on this. I'm engaged. I'm getting married. I'm the girl now. So let's focus on me. And I'm glad she set the foundation for that. Not that they're going to listen to you, Sweet Tea, because they don't listen. But it's nice that you put it out there so that next time you check one of them if they do it, because they're going to do it, because they don't care. They don't respect boundaries. None of them do. They're going to try you, and anytime they get mad, they're going to be like, well, that's why Quad's cuter than you, or that's why she's flyer than you, or that's why she lived in your house first. It's coming. So just get ready for it. But, you know, it was good to kind of see her, you know, solidify her place and kind of stand up to them a little bit, you know, in that moment. Okay. And then, you know, we pan to a couple little scenes where we have, you know, Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie. They're talking and they're just kind of, you know, talking about the showdown event and, you know, what they think of Sweet Tea and Quad not being there, you know, briefly and all of that. But again, the main epicness of it that for me was the DUI. Oh, and the fact that Dr. Heavenly had a little intimacy with Dr. G. Allegedly. That's the kicker for me, y'all. You know, and in the preview for the next episode looks like it's gonna be really, really good. So I am super excited about this season. I think that there's gonna be a lot of shade. I think that Shade Assassin #2, because Kenya's #1, but Phaedra is definitely up there. I think she's gonna give us some good reads. I think she's going to be hilarious. I think she's going to be lying, because she be lying, bringing the drama, bringing the cuteness, the fashion, the sexiness, all of that. So I was actually worried, you guys, about how Phaedra would fit into this group, because I'm just like, I didn't like it. I'm excited to see her back on TV because she's good TV, but I didn't like it because I think that, again, out of all of the franchises, Married to Medicine is very authentic. I think there's genuine relationships here. These ladies really know each other. And so I think it's one of the realest shows on Bravo. And quite frankly, Phaedra can be a little, I don't want to call her fake, but she's not always forthcoming about the truth in her life. And I don't want her to taint these girls, which she probably won't because we're dealing with a lot of strong personalities. But I just want the show to remain authentic. That's it. And if Phaedra can fit in and it remains authentic, then I am excited about it. Sweet Tea, she's a cute girl. She seems cool, kind of. But I absolutely believe she's a gold digger. And I think she's trying too hard already. Me personally. I think that she dial it back a little bit. I definitely want to see, they showed in the previews that it looks like there's a little trouble in paradise where both her and Dr. G are maybe start to question whether they should go through with the wedding. So I'm excited to see that. But I am questioning. I got my, you know, one eye on Sweet Tea as well. But overall, this was a great first episode for season 10. I'm excited about the season, and you know, we will definitely be talking about the season as it moves along. So I hope you guys enjoyed my review. As always, please like, subscribe, and share, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Continue to support your girl, and I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.